Were you there when I punched Lewis for real?
No.
Oh, God.
Did you really?
Well,
I didn't
yeah,
know
because
this.
I at one point like it connected, and I was like, ah!
Hi,
Hi.
Florence. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing? I'm a bit jet lagged, so if I sound a bit loopy, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm Isabella. I'm from Brazil, from Hugo Gloss. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Hello.
It was so great to see Yelena back on screen again, especially because it's been so long.
Yeah.
And you got to jump off the second tallest building in the world. So, what was going through your head when you mentioned you did it 9 times? So, what was going through your head in the moment, and why was it so important for you to be the one doing it?
What was going through my head? I remember thinking, what a unique job I have that allows me to do something like this. And I remember feeling so protective of Yelena in that moment. And it's so, it's so interesting when you're designing a stunt like that and you're trying to bring it into reality, you kind of forget what the main motive of it is for. And when we actually were preparing to shoot it, I was like, oh, I've spent so much time thinking of the practicality of how I'm going to, get off this building that I've forgotten to really think about reminding myself what she's doing this for and what her reasons are for being on this building. So that was just a really lovely not somber, but like quiet moment that I had to have with myself at the top of the building. Was like, okay, now let's reset. Why is she here? Why is she feeling like this? And I guess these are the stakes that we're starting the movie with. Yeah, I don't know why I made everybody allow me to do it. It's so crazy. But I couldn't help myself.
I know, it's amazing. I was going to ask you, what was Grantel Pat's reaction when you told her you were going to do that?
I actually can't remember. I remember telling my mum, and my mum was like, why would you do that? And I was like, because it's amazing. And obviously my whole family is so supportive of me, and they were with me in Atlanta when I got the news that it was happening.
Oh my God.
I remember I went home and I was like, Mom, I'm doing it. I get to do the stunt. That's so funny. Yeah, my granny was out in Atlanta with me. She was visiting me.
This is awesome. So Yelena and Bob, they have such a special bond in the film. And Louis mentioned that you were so generous with your guidance for him throughout the whole process. Looking back, is there a particular moment between the two of you that stands out to you that really helped build their dynamic?
I mean, plenty of moments, but very quickly and early on, Lewis is so funny. His sense of humor is just so perfectly on brand with what makes me really laugh. And there wouldn't be an in-between take where we weren't just cracking each other up or making stupid, dumb jokes or like really random bits that would go off in such weird tangents. And then we'd suddenly have to start shooting again. So I think all of that downtime where we got to just laugh at each other really added texture and a lot of love between the two characters.
They're really special. I really love to see that.
Yeah.
So, as we've mentioned, the film touches on some deep themes, especially mental health and trauma and rebuilding your identity. And I feel like Yelena's journey is very relatable for a lot of people. If you could give everyone watching one advice to make them feel fulfilled again, what would be your advice?
I mean, it's similar to Yelena's advice, which is that we've got to be with one another. We have to be connected. And I do truly believe in that too. It's such a simple but effective message of like, we're here for one reason, which is to love and be loved. And we're humans that need interaction. We need to be physical. We need to hug each other. We need to tell each other we love each other. And then the other thing that I know that has always opened me up and made sure that I stay grounded and is just simple things like cooking people dinner. cooking myself dinner, like taking the time to make sure that I'm loving myself in that way, like I'm feeding my soul. And for me, like, you know, all of the themes of the movie being connected, opening our hearts and making sure we spend time together, that's the same, I suppose, vein as hosting and cooking and preparing, and having simple purposes and simple pleasures like that have always given me a lot of pleasure.
Look, I've been where you are. The past doesn't go away. So you can either live with it forever, or you can do something about it.
Sebastian, something that really always stood out to me about your performances was that you embody your characters so much that you disappear in them. And having filmed Thunderbolts right after you finished The Apprentice, how was it for you to step back into Bucky's shoes?
I was very relieved. We were saying before that we all kind of came to this exhausted, very much like these characters, and from all of us dealing with different types of exhaustion, and so I was happy. Yeah, it's fun.
I can imagine, yeah. It was a really fun thing to see you going back into him. Wyatt, there's a particular scene, the vault scene, that really gave me such a physical reaction, particularly with John, because I could not decide if I should laugh at him or if I could trust him at all. And I think that's something really interesting about him. So I wanted to ask you, is it fun for you to really lean into the unpredictability of that character and work with that new dynamic in the group?
Yeah, I mean, it is fun to play an unpredictable character, because half the time I don't know what I'm going to do when I'm doing it. So that part of it is a blast to play, and really let the filmmaker, I guess, decide what the performance is going to be at the end of the day, because you got to give 10 different versions of something for it to give them options. But it always came out of playing with the people that were there on set that day, and that was what was so fun about. At least also when Sebastian got into the story, it just felt like a puzzle piece that wasn't there had clicked into place, you know. And so then it really became like, it felt like it really took off when we were all together.
Yeah, that actually leads me to my next question, because I was wondering, you guys all different members of the group had the opportunity to work together in previous projects, such as you guys and Wyatt and Hannah. And I was wondering, did that really help shape how you guys interacted on the screen? And were those scenes so tightly scripted, or did you always get to play around a little bit and that let their natural rhythm come through the camera?
I think we were allowed to play a little bit, yeah, which was nice. And but Jake also had really great idea, and I mean, you guys worked together before. I feel like you probably knew how he was better, but he has very good comedic
Instincts.
Yeah, and I think that's probably what helped a lot.
Jake and I worked together on a show years ago that if you would have seen the show, you would have been like, these two guys are going to go work for Marvel, and I would have said, you're stoned and high off your ass. That this is a terrible idea, don't let them do this. But he has, I say that in jest, he has a great sensibility, and we never played anything for like a joke or anything. We just played the reality of the moment, and the moments are funny and situationally. So yeah, it was fun to do it with Jake again, and you and Hannah.
Yeah.
You know, it was fun.
And he also worked a lot with practical filmmaking in this, so you guys got to do a lot of your own stunts. Did anything ever go wrong behind the scenes? How was it for you guys to do that?
Well, I did. Were you there when I punched Lewis for real?
No. Did you really?
Well,
I didn't
yeah,
know
because
this.
I at one point like it connected, and I was like, ah, and it was just, but he just didn't even flinch or anything. He was fine. I mean, it was fine. It's just what happens like when
Right.
you're like not always doing it,
Yeah.
and you jump right into it. But
Just
what else happened? I mean,
split my head open through
oh
a
my
door.
God! How did I?
Oh
yes,
God.
that was terrifying.
That was awesome.
In which
yes.
scene actually did that happen?
When I run, we were all running in. By the way, I watched the movie. It's like fucking not even in there. When you run, I run into the room where Bob and Elena are like in the attic room. And There's just a little thing I missed a spot, and next thing I know, the blood's coming out of my face. But yeah, that was fun. I do have a scar forever in the shape of a thunderbolt. It is. I can't show you right now, but it is in my hairline, and it's the shape of a thunderbolt. The doctor was like, "It looks like you have a thunderbolt in your head."
Basically,
I'm like, oh, cool.
You've got an asterisk.
Yeah, in my head for the rest of my life.
It's your version of the Avengers tattoo.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Didn't we make a pact that if like this movie makes like $1 billion, we'll all get asterisk tattoos?
Oh my god.
Now that you're saying it,
We did.
it does sound like, yeah.
Yeah.
Sebastian's gonna have to get his first one then.
That's true. I don't have
You don't have any tattoos?
I don't. You do?
Can you have tattoos?
Well, I mean, I guess. Why wouldn't I? Like,
I don't know. For like
can
religious
you?
reasons?
Do you have tattoos?
Yeah, I got one.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I got one tattoo.
Oh my god.
I'd had a second one. Thunderbolt
Yes.
crushes.
David probably definitely has that.
David has tattoos.
Yeah.
Florence has tattoos. Maybe we should get you a tattoo, bruh.
Oh my god. Just an asterisk.
Next time I talk
on
to you,
my
I'm gonna
back,
ask you.
like Ben Affleck's
Yeah,
eagle.
yeah.
I just take off my shirt in the middle of the premiere.
You know, we were like, it was just supposed to be small. You're like, I went for it.
Yeah, just the target on my back.
So,
An asterisk just on your lower back.
I went for it.
so canonically, the actor Sebastian Stan exists in the MCU because they mentioned Hot Tub Time Machine in Endgame.
I didn't know you
So
were
I
have a lot of questions about
Oh my god, that's so funny. That movie is funny.
And I
But,
really
yeah.
wanted to know if Bucky ever stumbled across one of your movies, what do you think would be his reactions?
No.
To which movie? Or are you picking
Like
one?
if you had seen Hot Tub Time Machine.
Right.
I'm pretty sure Bucky's still watching The Godfather for the
17.
70th time.
For the millionth time.
It's either that or like Bambi or something. Just thinking of him obscure films.
Paths of Glory.
I do. Who mentions Hot Tub Time Machine in the?
Don Cheadle.
Oh wow.
What does he mention?
Yeah.
When they're doing the whole thing going back in time, that's when they mention all the movies that talk about travel in time, and then they mention
That's right.
specifically Hot Tub Time Machine.
That's kind of an interesting thing
Mm-hmm.
to pitch to Kevin.
Right.
right? I know.
Kevin, hear me out. I have
Right.
an idea.
Just add another character I'm playing, basically.
Okay, I have to wrap up. It was great talking to you guys.
You
You too.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.
We can't stop him alone. No one can. But we can find a way. Together.